I have a question about personal identity. Are you an INFJ, and do you have a sense of personal identity? Hi, I'm Annie. I've heard that INFJs and Enneagram type 4s are both types that struggle with a sense of personal identity. I'm an INFJ and an Enneagram type 4 with a 5 wing. And I think that I might struggle with a sense of identity because honestly, when I think of sense of identity, I can't even conceptualize what that could possibly mean. Now, I am extremely comfortable with abstract ideas, but I can't even fathom what personal identity could possibly mean. When I think of identity, it's such a nebulous thing. I don't understand what anyone could possibly mean when they say that they know their identity or are sure of their identity. I mean, I can think of adjectives that describe myself, but that doesn't seem like that's what people mean when they say personal identity. I can say I'm creative, I'm introspective, I'm short, I have curly hair. These are all just adjectives. I don't feel like any of those things are my personal identity. There's also social identity, being a daughter, being a sister. There's career identity, like being a massage therapist. But all of these things are just adjectives. I don't think that this is what people mean when they say a sense of personal identity. I did some light Googling, and something that came up was the idea that your core identity is like a centered place that you go to, like coming back to your center and your core. I know what that means. I know what it means to find my own center. There's like a still spot. There's a spot of rest. There's a place that you can go to inside yourself to rest no matter what's going on. Even if really bad things seem to be happening in your life, there's a still spot in the middle that you can go to. But I don't see how that could be my personal identity, because I think that that spot, the stillness inside of everyone, is the same place. Like when anyone goes to that still, peaceful place, that it's the same place. We're all going to the same place. That's not me, I don't think. You see how much I'm struggling with this. Help me out here. I don't know what this means. Identity, it's so nebulous, and it's something that's kind of in flux. I can only speak from my own experience, but I am a thing that kind of blooms in these different directions and changes over time. Throughout the day, there are fluctuations. I don't think there's anything constant about me, I guess, except for that still space inside. But like I said, that feels impersonal. That still peaceful place is really nice and it's my center, but I don't feel like it's me. It feels like it's impersonal, like it's impersonal love or impersonal acceptance. I don't know if any of this makes sense. Anyway, do you have a sense of personal identity? Do you have any thoughts on what personal identity is? Help me out here. Hey friends, so I just made that video about personal identity, and I would love it if you would let me know what you think about that. But after I finished filming that, I actually called my mommy because she has a degree in psychology, and I asked her what she thought about it. And I was also wondering, like, is there an academic definition of personal identity or something like that? And she didn't have an answer. But she did direct me towards something that is kind of cool, and I want to share it with you. So I mentioned some adjectives about defining personal identity, and she was saying, no, that's not really it. Maybe your personal identity is more like your values, like knowing what your values are. Well, to me, I mean, values are just, that's kind of like one step up from adjectives. Like, I'm short, I have curly hair, a creative life and strong family values are important to me. I don't know, they just seem like fancier adjectives. But anyway, she directed me towards this really cool thing. She said, Google personal values card sort. So I'll put a link to it in the description. But when you Google that, you get this printout. It's a free PDF, and you can print out all these values. And it's just like family, to have a happy and loving family life. Knowledge, to learn and contribute contribute valuable knowledge, passion, to have deep feelings about ideas, activities, or people, etc. There's like a whole bunch of them. And so what you can do is sort them into different categories, like not important to me at all, maybe important to me, kind of important to me, really important to me. And I just thought this was a cool exercise. Now, I am not clueless about my values. I pretty much already know what they are because I'm an introspective person. But what's kind of cool is that as you're going through these cards, you might come upon one where you're like, huh, I haven't considered that. Now, that's really valuable to consider whether or not that value is valuable to you. How many times can you use the word valuable in a sentence? Another way that the exercise is really cool is that if you come across something that's really valuable to you, for example, health and fitness, if it's valuable and important to you to be really healthy and fit, and you put that in your first category, then you can also ask yourself, what am I doing in my life to support that? Because that is such an important value to me. And so just having these cards that you can tangibly hold and sort around into these different categories, it will help you really see what's important to you and help you contemplate whether or not you are upholding that value in your own life. Another thing you could do once you get all of your pile, that is the things that are the most important to me, is that you can look at those again and say, you know, what top 5 or top 10 values really stand out amongst all of these others, just to see if any of them are like super valuable, and maybe some of them are still valuable, but maybe less. It helps you prioritize your values. I feel like this is a good exercise if you're feeling kind of stuck in life, to just sort of go back and think about what is really, really important to me right now. This could be a brainstorming exercise that could like get you moving in your life if you feel stuck. It'll help you really hone in on what is the most valuable, and then you can think of a project or something in your life that can focus on that value and maybe give you some creative energy or some energy to move out of that stuck place. So anyway, I still don't know what personal identity is, but I think that this exercise is really valuable, and I'm going to put a link in the description. Thank you and good night.